Good evening and welcome to the State of the School 2020. I know this is a little bit different for all of us, but tonight I want to reach out to you in this format because of the COVID environment that we are currently in. I know for the last several months, our team has been working extremely hard to keep things going and moving forward. So I want to thank you right off the bat for your continued support of Ben Lippin School, our administration, our faculty, our staff, our coaches, our house parents, and everyone involved at Ben Lippin School. This evening we have a lot to talk about and a lot to share. And my goal is to try to answer as many questions as possible that I have heard over the last year and try to bring as much transparency as possible to you, our families of Ben Lippin School. Since its inception in 1940, Ben Lippin School has stayed true to a single enduring promise: to partner with families in providing a superior education that is distinctively Christian. Having celebrated almost 80 years of God's faithfulness, there is no better time to renew that promise and turn our attention to the needs of the future than now. Our vision for the future is to provide an extraordinary, Christ-centered, and innovative education. What does that mean for us at Ben Lippin School? Extraordinary. Excellence is a biblical standard worthy of our pursuit. Ben Lippin has the capacity to compete beyond the geographical limits of Columbia and even South Carolina, and should measure itself against the finest schools in the Southeast, the country, and even the world. Christ-centered. Ben Lippin will remain intentionally Christian. Our faculty and curriculum will continue to train students in rigorous academic disciplines from an unapologetically Christian worldview, and emphasis will be given to the spiritual development of each individual student. This continues to be our commitment as we move forward together. And finally, innovative. Ben Lippin is uniquely positioned to produce alumni who change the world both in ministry and in the marketplace. As educators and educational leaders, we must reflect upon our current practices and policies and explore new ways to transform education to address challenges in an increasingly complex world. We must rethink education in order to design educational experiences and an environment that meet the needs of children today and in the future. Achieving such an ambitious vision will require both incremental and significant updates and improvements to people, programs, and facilities. We believe, however, that both the scope and timing of our vision are in accordance with God's leading. So I want to share with you what these things mean. Let's start first of all by sharing some facts over the last year and some of the great accomplishments that our young people have accomplished this past year at Ben Lippin School. Remember that the things that we're talking about happened from the last state of the school to our current state of the school. And also remember that as we speak together and have this conversation, that several of our areas were impacted by COVID last March. Let me share some of these incredible accomplishments. Let's start with enrollment. Highest day student enrollment over the last 5 years. Total student growth has increased 4 years straight, 930 in 2020. Historic numbers of tours, inquiries, and applications have come our way through the admissions process. Accreditation and memberships. We are so excited at Ben Lippin School to have shared with you earlier this year about our CISA and ACSI accrediting bodies that came to visit us. This is a big deal for Christian education. It's a big deal for us as a community. The CISA membership, along with ACSI under Cigna, the umbrella parent, provides Ben Lippin School accreditation for the next 5 years. With that addition, CISA has accepted Ben Lippin School to become member of council. What does that mean for you, for me, for our community, for our teachers? It means that at this time, the members of council have said that Ben Lippin School is a part of the top 30 schools across the country. This is important for you to understand. We are now part of the premier Christian schools in this country. What does that do for our teachers? What does that do for our faculty? Here's what it does. It elevates each and every level of the things that we're doing. It holds us accountable to a new level. No longer can we just do the things that we were doing. There's an expectation by an outside body that we continue to move towards excellence together. This new membership, this accomplishment that Ben Lippin School, its board members, its teachers, and administration have been able to accomplish this year, puts us at an elite level when we talk about Christian education. And I want to thank you as parents for joining us through this journey. It has been an amazing opportunity to see the growth of our school over the last 4 years, to put us in a position to be members of this council. Academics. The class of 2020 average SAT score is 131 points above the national average. National Merit finalists, we had one this year. What a tremendous accomplishment for our student body. $6 million in scholarships awarded to the class of 2020. 8 Palmetto Fellow recipients. AP pass rate, 67%. 20 AP scholars. 69% of eligible students earned the award. 119 dual credit students in the fall and 84 in the spring. Overall, this is a 31% increase over last year. Let's talk about fine arts for a minute. From a curricular program growth, the strings program increased by 15%. Our band program increased by 29%. Our choir program increase of 30%. Extracurricular program growth. High school a cappella increase of 47%. Middle school and high school musical increased from 27 students in 2018 to 91 in 2021. This is an increase of 70%. New developments. Just want to share these with you. The launch of the middle school orchestra program, 13 students, with plans to grow into a high school orchestra by fall of 2023. Launch of our middle school advanced a cappella, 14 students, and as an audition-only club. Live pit orchestra included in the performance of The Sound of Music. If you missed The Sound of Music, you missed an excellent show. And this is one of the things that we're celebrating just this past few weeks. The launch of middle school musical by the fall of 2021. Awards and honors in our fine arts areas. We had one student selected to the 2021 South Carolina High School All-State Chorus. She's the first student in Ben Lippin School history to attain this achievement. 5 students selected to the 2021 South Carolina Middle School All-Region Band. 1 student selected as an alternate in the 2020 United States All-National Modern Band. He is the first student in Ben Lippin School history to attain this achievement. Wow, we have some great things happening in our fine arts program. Let me also add athletics. State championship wrestling team, first state championship in wrestling at Ben Lippin School. State runner-up cheerleaders, state Final Four football, dozens of individual award winners, including 19 all-state selections in the fall of 2020. New youth development divisions for lower school students with over 60 students signed up already, ready to go here in the spring. New sailing team and equestrian team, new athletic health and training facility. And at the end of all this, 4.28 overall average GPA for our student athletes in the fall. Wow, I'm truly amazed at the work that our student athletes put out each and every day and still accomplish the things that they can accomplish in the classroom. And last but not least, I wanted to add this because this is an important part of our community. We added Grace Coffee to our mix. This has built a tremendous opportunity for our young people to fellowship with one another, to have something fun on our campus, and it's been a great partnership with Grace Coffee, and we continue to move that partnership forward in the years to come. I would like to stop for just a minute and congratulate our administrators, our faculty, house parents, staff members, and coaches for their hard work this year. As we continue on this evening, I want to talk about Ben Lippin School's future. And its future starts with a strategic plan. Our strategic future is laid out. We know as a school where we're going, who we want to be, and how we want to get there. 4 years ago when I arrived at Ben Lippin School, it was really important to me and to the team that I was building that we make sure that we have a map in front of us, a guide that we would be able to follow in the years ahead to make sure that our future vision could be accomplished on a timely manner. Here are 7 areas of focus within our strategic plan. Mission clarity, effective governance, institutional sustainability, exceptional academic standards, dynamic fine arts department, competitive athletic program that challenges the mind, body, and spirit, facilities and infrastructure that position Ben Lippin for the future. These are 7 critical areas that we'll continue to work on each and every year. Over the next 5 years, our focus areas will be these 7. We don't stray from the plan. We won't walk away from the plan. We'll always have conversations and invest in the plan. Because as we believe, and hopefully as you believe, if we have a plan, then we should follow it. And it's important for me, our administrators, as we have conversations, our board members, as we come together for future thinking and discussion, that plan continues to be in front of us. It's critical, though, that we all understand this plan, this strategic plan, is not a static plan. It's a constantly changing plan that we talk over, that we discuss, we have conversations around, that we adjust and tweak along the way, and we continue to add things to it each and every year that are going to move us towards excellence. With that in mind, let's move on. The impact of COVID and our future. I want to take the time this evening to just pause for a second and talk about COVID. It has been a real challenge for our community. We have seen challenges in our lower school. We've seen challenges in our middle school. We have seen challenges in our upper school. We've seen challenges across our athletic programs and our fine arts programs. COVID has been a real challenge, and we understand that it will continue to be a challenge for our community. I am thankful. I'm thankful for the fact that we have put a medical committee together that continues to provide important information to add to our protocols, and that our team continues to follow our protocols in such a way to protect our students, our faculty, and all of our community so that we can maintain our face-to-face education. Let me just share some things with you. As you know and I know, our international student program has been affected by COVID. We have 20 less students this year. But 33 students continue to be encouraged, loved, and impacted through the wonderful house parents and faculty both online and face-to-face. The impact in our international program hurts us deeply. It not only hurts us on a financial side of things, but it hurts us emotionally. When we talk about having 20 less students on campus, it's 20 less opportunities for us to impact the hearts and minds of our young people. I know our teachers have felt that. I know our house parents have felt that. And me as an administrator and our administrative team have felt the emptiness of those 20 students. Our hope and our prayer is that as COVID transitions and leaves us, that more students would look at Ben Lippin from an international community and want to come to join us. We're ready to serve them. We will be transitioning the international program and reshaping the feel and look of our international program to serve as many students as the Lord provides and brings to us. We're excited about serving our international students. We're providing both boarding program and homestay opportunities. We're not walking away from the international student program because we strongly believe in the mission of Ben Lippin School is to impact the hearts and minds of young people at all levels and in every country across the world. And even in those places that we cannot reach, our hope is that in the future we will be able to expand our mission, and I'll share more about that in a minute. The other things that I want to share regarding COVID is that we have been 7 months of face-to-face education. This was really important to us. As an administration, as a board, we had lots of conversations about reopening school. It's a real challenge when you think about it. Bringing over 900 students to campus, plus adults, when you talk about faculty members and coaches and staff members. Then you have substitute teachers and teacher assistants. It's a real challenge to put all of those folks together and run a system that will keep everyone healthy. I'm thankful that we move forward. I'm thankful that we'll continue to persevere beyond the COVID environment and provide you, our families, and our community a place where you feel safe to bring your children, and provide them the best Christian education possible, face to face. But understanding the challenge of a face-to-face system also provided us the wisdom to be able to provide a new hybrid education opportunity. We understood that some folks were going to get sick. We understood that we had children at all levels that would be out for COVID challenges. And providing this hybrid education opportunity kept us connected. One of the greatest things in Christian education right now is the challenge of not having kids at school. I've had this conversation just this month with several leaders across the country. On the East Coast, we're providing face-to-face education in the private sector. On the West Coast, private Christian schools are having a hard time even opening their doors. We have seen it here. We saw it here in the months of March when we had to go to an online education only. We missed the social environment. We missed the children on campus. The children missed the children and their friends, being able to laugh and joke around and come see their friends after the weekend was over. The social interaction is extremely important for the physical, the social, and the mental well-being of our young people. That's the reason that our school board, our administration felt so strongly that face-to-face education would be the right direction. I also wanted to add that our medical committee has been a tremendous addition to us. The protocols that they have helped us lay out has kept us moving forward. I know sometimes the protocols become very difficult and sometimes even challenging for parents. Having to send a class home or even individual student or teacher not being in class is a challenge for all of us. And we understand that those challenges can cause learning problems. But here's the goal. The goal is to continue to stay face-to-face. The goal is to continue to provide hybrid education. But we do have to follow protocols. And we're thankful that we have a committee of leaders and doctors who are willing to spend their time providing us with the needed wisdom to provide this face-to-face education in the days ahead, the weeks ahead, the months ahead, and even the year ahead. I'm thankful for the medical committee. I'm thankful for their time. And I hope and pray that you will continue to pray for wisdom for that medical committee and for our administration as we lead together through these challenging times. Yes, I know. We have seen an uptick in the winter. And I know you have felt it at home as parents. I know we have felt it at home as parents. But our teachers continue to serve our community extremely well and are committed to providing excellent face-to-face education for all of our students in the safest environment possible. I want to share something that's extremely important. I really do think that our heroes are our teachers. I know we don't hear that much these days. But here at Lippin School, our administration understands that every day that a teacher shows up into a classroom, they also have the opportunity to get sick. And they can carry that home with them as well. So our heroes are our administrators, our teachers, our nurses, coaches, house parents, and staff that show up every day to work. Please continue to pray for our Lippin School community in the days ahead. I know that we'll face other challenges. I know that COVID will continue to be part of our environment. I understand that nobody likes to wear these masks, but it's important to us. It's important to us because if we stay within the protocols, we'll be able to provide much needed face-to-face education and see our students continue to grow as they transition to the next level of education. I want to transition for a minute to institutional sustainability. I want to pause and talk about something that has been brought up to me over the last several weeks, and that's the increase of our tuition. Anytime we talk about increasing tuition, I know it could become a burden. It becomes a burden on our families, and it could become a real challenge for those that want to provide Christian education for their young people, but aren't able to afford it all the time. So I want to walk through 5 questions with you this evening. And I hope to give you as many answers as possible to these questions that would put you at a better place and understand why these decisions had to be made to increase tuition at this time. I know it's not easy to hear. I definitely know it wasn't easy to see. But understand that when we're talking about the institutional sustainability of Lippin School, It was an important decision that needed to be made now. Let me walk through some of these questions with you. Why did the tuition jump so significantly for the 2021-22 school year? Here are several reasons why. The need to make the school healthy and self-sustainable at each level. The need to sustain the mission and vision of the school for the foreseeable future. The need to sustain a commitment of investing in our people, program, and facilities. And finally, the need to sustain the competitive edge and continue to provide the necessary academic arts and athletic programs for all of our students. I want to give you a little bit of history so that you understand the significant change had to be made. Several years ago, the board during that time made decisions that were important during that time. And the question that I get often is this: why has Ben Lippin School increased tuition so significantly for so many years? And so the history of this is important. We've already talked about the idea that the international student has taken a hit. And if you have seen the tuition for the international program, you understand that that's a significant part of our revenue process. With that challenge, along with the challenge that over the years there really has not been a significant increase in the tuition, plus the idea that we have continued to invest through COVID and throughout the last 3 years, pretty significant at each level, it was important for us to understand and to make clear to our families that each level needed to support itself and sustain itself for the future. So let me walk through some history as far as just understanding the increases. In 2015-16, there was an increase of 0.8%. In 2016-17, there was an increase of 1.7%. In 2017-18, an increase of 2.5%. In 2018-19, there was an increase of 2.5%. In 2019-20, there was an increase of 5%. And in 2021, there was an increase, in 2020-21, there was an increase of 6%. But remember that we froze tuition at the lowest level and tuition at the highest level. And so when you look at that, you can understand that those tuition increases were not significant enough for the investment that we have made over the last several years, plus the challenges that we have faced this past year from a revenue standpoint. Sustainability is important for our Christian schools, especially for Ben Lippin School. The tuition increases this year will allow us to invest in what matters most. And we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Let me answer another question for you. Will tuition continue to increase each school year moving forward? Yes, tuition will continue to increase each year moving forward. But here's the great thing about that, if we could call it a great thing. Because the board and the administration were able to move forward the tuition in such a significant way, it actually puts the pattern of increases in a more sustainable way for you, our families. If not, our tuition increases will continue to bounce 10%, 7%, 12% at each level in a different way. The restructuring of our tuition has allowed us to be able to set the pattern for the future in a way that we can help you, our families, plan ahead. So as we talk about the future increases, we're really talking about a 3 to 4% increase over the next several years, but it becomes a much more consistent pattern for you to follow. The goal is not to leave anyone out. The goal is to allow Ben Lippin School to be able to move forward with as many families that want Christian education as possible. Let me answer a couple more questions for you. But before I leave there, I want to share this. The reason why we have to move forward with increases in tuition at a low level of 3 to 4%, but a more consistent level, is because we also want to make sure that we continue to support our faculty and our staff. For many years, Ben Lippin School's faculty have continued to provide excellent education, but they're not getting paid at the same level as their counterparts. And that's a shame on us. It's important for us as administrators, as an institution, to make sure that we support our people first. That's when we talk about making our priorities. We always talk about people, programs, and facilities. Investing in our people is our top priority. Investing in our teachers is our top priority. And it's time that we invest in our teachers. And we continue to invest in our teachers from now and into the future. The question is, will financial aid increase due to the increase in tuition? Yes. Financial aid will increase due to the increase of tuition. Financial aid will be available for those that qualify for the need by applying through FACTS. Our goal is to provide as many families that qualify the financial aid needed to keep them at Ben Lippin School. It's important that you stay in communication with us. If you want your family at Ben Lippin School, we want your family with us. Please do not walk away just thinking that you don't qualify for financial aid. Come meet with our team. Let's walk through the process together and let's see what we can work out. What is the strategic plan is a question that I have received. And what are the strategies within the strategic plan? The strategic planning process culminates in the development of the strategic plan document that serves as the organization's roadmap. Remember earlier we talked about the map. That's the strategic plan. It's a strategic map that allows us to stay focused, to make sure that we are hitting our goals along each day and each week and each month and each year. The key process there is that we do have a map. And you can actually find that map on our website. Under the Giving tab at the top of the home page, you can go on there, see the current strategic plan that actually ends this year. And then you'll see this summer as we implement the new strategic plan, we'll add that to our website and you can keep up with our initiatives as we move forward. I hope that those questions can help you identify the need for increasing our tuition. To me, it's extremely important that you understand. This wasn't done in an intentional way to hurt anyone. This was not done in an intentional way to keep those families that can't afford it and bring families of more income to Ben Lippin School. This was done in an intentional way to make sure that we can sustain Ben Lippin's future for many, many years to come. Let's keep talking together. I want to talk to you about investing most in what matters most. One of the things that I try to tell parents each and every time I meet with them is that we're always going to focus, at least under my leadership here at Ben Lippin School, we will always focus in investing most in what matters most. And we're always going to focus on our people, programs, and facilities. In that order. That order will not shift. Those priorities will not shift. We will always put people before facilities. People is what matters most. It's important for us to continue to invest in our people. Our faculty, we must strengthen our salary scale and invest in our teachers for the future. We cannot continue to provide excellent education without excellent teachers. And so we must invest in our faculty and we must invest in their development. It's important for Ben Lippin School to have the best faculty at all levels. And so in order to do that, we must invest in their growth and we must invest in their future. Leadership. We want to invest this upcoming year in lower school counselor, director of college admissions, dean of students, director of marketing and communication. It's important that these pieces are in play so that we can serve our students well and serve you, our families, with excellence. Academic support. There's no greater investment than we can make at Ben Lippin School than into our academic support system. And so these are some areas that we want to continue to invest in. Assistant teachers at the lower school. We want to continue the pattern that we have built over the last 3 years. Each year adding more teacher assistants to our team. The reason for that is because we want to serve our students as individually based as possible, especially in our lower school. We want to build a strong foundation with both our teachers and our teachers' aides that support the learning process of our students. Ben Lippin School's tutoring program. We want to implement a tutoring program at the middle school and high school that supports all of our learners to make sure that they continue to be successful in the learning process in the classroom. Ben Lippin School understands that we provide a rigorous academic program. With rigor sometimes comes challenges, and we want to help our students along the way reach and meet those challenges to the best of their ability. And in order to do that, we want to make sure that we invest in our tutoring program. Individual Learning Center. One of the things that we want to be able to provide is help for our students at all levels of learning. We want to add personnel for both the middle school and high school in order to meet the needs of those students that need the help. We want to provide enough opportunities for our young people to not feel uncomfortable, but to actually feel comfortable reaching out and getting the help necessary to be able to make them as successful as possible as they head into their future academic goals. We want to train our young people to learn, and we want to help them learn well along the way. The next thing we want to invest in is our programs. We want to expand opportunities. We want to expand the arts and sciences. We want to expand the area of technology, engineering, math, and dual enrollment, and a possible CNA nursing program that's coming soon. These are opportunities that other schools continue to invest in, but that we take very, very serious here at Ben Lippin School. Our STEM program as a whole is a program that we're going to continue to invest in. Our Innovation Academy is a program we're going to continue to invest in. And this idea of a CNA nursing program, we want to provide an opportunity for all students that want to take a field such as nursing into their future. Why not start in high school with this great opportunity? I also want to talk about extracurricular offerings. We want to invest in our youth development leagues, after-school athletics, chess clubs, robotics, arts, music programs. We want to give all of our students, regardless of the level that they're in, an opportunity to participate in something. We want to encourage them that Ben Lippin School has enough opportunities that they can get involved in. They don't have to go somewhere else for these things. We want to continue to add programs, bring programs to the table that our students can participate in, grow in, and as they get into high school, they can start to choose what areas they want to have a deeper dive into. I want to talk about programs of impact. These programs of impact are extremely important to us. We want to talk about spiritual life, Wintram, community service, international student program, and our Innovation Academy, just as I mentioned earlier. These are programs that our administrators are passionate about. These are programs that we're trying to restructure, readjust, make tweaks, make sure we invest well. And if we're not doing the right thing, then we need to make sure that we hit pause, reevaluate the entire program, and make sure that those resources that are needed are properly invested in those areas. So these programs of impact are really important as we move ahead for you to stay connected with us. And as your children come through Ben Lippin School, you'll hear more about these programs. Tonight, I want to share with you also that we have 3 new initiatives that have kicked off or are in the process of kicking off. The first one is Ben Lippin School Online. We call it the Crest Online. The Crest Online is a tie-in to our alma mater. It's also a tie-in for those that came from the Asheville Times, and the idea that they came from the Asheville community, our alumni. It's important that our alumni understand that we value them and love them. And this new online venture has the Crest in it because we want to keep the connection between Ben Lippin School for years to come. Remember earlier we mentioned that we wanted to reach the nations and even those places that we couldn't physically take people to. Virtual learning provides us that opportunity. Our board is currently considering opportunities and direction for this new stance. The idea of this new initiative comes from how do we spread our mission? How can we share with others the great things that are happening at Ben Lippin School from an academic point of view? How do we impact more hearts and minds that we are not going to capture here on our campus, but we can go to them? To me, this is an important avenue, especially with the idea that we've been dealing with COVID and virtual learning already. We need to dive full speed ahead into this process. The Crest Online's goal is to open in the fall of 2021 with a 9th grade class and move then forward each additional year with an additional class, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. By 2024, we hope to be an accredited online school. that young people from across the world will want to come and join and be a part of Christian education. The second initiative, we want to let you know and give you the joy that we have in our hearts for this new initiative. At this time, you understand that Ben Lippin School provides an excellent Christian education at our lower school. We provide on this campus, at the Monticello Road campus, an excellent education with excellent opportunities. We also provide at the SAR campus, our St. Andrews campus, a Christian school, a lower school that provides excellent academic programs and excellent opportunities. We want to extend our reach and extend our mission to the northeast side of town. And so at this time, I'm announcing that Northeast Campus will open in the fall of 2021 in partnership with Sandhills Community Church. It's a great partnership. It's a great church community. And we are going to join the Sandhills family and open up Ben Lippin School Lower School, K4 through second grade, our first year, starting in the fall of 2021. The following year, we'll open up third grade, and then the following year, we'll open up fourth grade. We're extremely excited about this new opportunity and this new adventure for all of us. We do feel that the northeast side of town needs a Ben Lippin School. They need a Christian education program that can impact the hearts and minds of those young people that are there in those communities. So if you have a friend, a neighbor, a colleague that want to be provided with Christian education on the northeast side of town, now we can reach them as well. So come join us at Sandhills Community Church and Ben Lippin School on northeast side of town. The last initiative that I'll share with you is something that we've been praying around here for years. We want to continue to expand our spiritual life impact for our young people. Since the day I arrived, I felt that Ben Lippin was above other schools when you talk about the spiritual life impact of our young people, how our teachers and how our faculty members impact the hearts and minds of our kids each and every day. But I felt like we need something more. At the beginning of each year, we have a Camp Ben Lippin here on our campus. It provides a spiritual atmosphere for our young people to get the year started. I really have been praying over for many years now, and so has our administrative team. What else can we add to our spiritual life program that would take our young people into a location or a place where we can pour into them over a 3 to 4 day period, have excellent speakers, have musicians come in and worship and let our young people worship freely. Let them have fun with activities, interact with one another, get to fellowship with one another, especially with young people that are coming in new to our community, and let that community continue to build before we kick off the school year. Our next year initiative, and this time I'm announcing with you, is that we want to go to a camp, and we want to take our 9th through 12th grade groups to Carolina Point and start off our spiritual emphasis week at the beginning of the year at Carolina Point and try to impact the hearts of young people like never before. We want to have an excellent start to our school years from here forward. That's an expensive venture. And so we're asking our families to continue to pray with us that those opportunities come about. When we talk about spiritual emphasis, it's not about a building and it's not about a facility that we want to financially support. These are the hearts of our young people we're trying to reach. And so please pray with us. Pray with us that the support that we need is there, or that the support would come, that we can put this into our budget for years to come, and that it really becomes a transformational opportunity for our community. Those are 3 great initiatives that I've shared with you. I hope you're as excited about these initiatives as I am. Thank you for listening to that, because I think as a community, when we embrace those things that are coming up, I think together is where we make the difference. I want to share with you when it comes to the third part of our investment. We talked about people, number 1. We talked about programs, and now I want to talk about facilities. When we talk about facilities, we're not talking about investing in just bricks and mortar. We're talking about investing in facilities that are going to have an impact in the lives of our young people. We're talking about facilities that are going to make a difference, that are going to help our students become better than they once were. Here are some areas that we will be impacting this year as far as investing in our facilities. The first one is a dining hall. The Falcon's Nest, as we call it here at Ben Lippin School, will go through a phase 1 renovation of our upper school dining area. This phase 1 renovation is still in the works. We don't know exactly what that will look like, but we know it will not look the same as it currently looks. It's important for us to make sure that as we continue to invest in our facilities, the dining hall area is a facility where all of our students are part of. When you enter a middle school, all the way to the day you graduate. So this investment is important to us in the days ahead. Phase 2 renovations of our bottom floor of our high school classrooms and bathrooms is getting ready to take place. Last year, we continued our investment and changed and transformed the upper school classrooms. Carpets, ceiling tiles, painted the rooms. Now it's time for the bottom floor. We will go through that process this summer. The Fine Arts Performing Arts Center. Phase 2 renovations will take place this summer. Phase 1 renovation was expanding the stage and making sure that there was enough room on the stage for programs. And wow, did that work this year as they put on The Sound of Music to excellence. Next year's phase, we're still working on the details of that, but we want to make sure that that whole stage gets transformed, including a curtain on that stage to make it look like a theater. And so we're going to continue our work from the stage all the way to the floor, all the way to the back. These will come in phases, but phase 2 will start in the summer. The SAR lower school facility will continue to go through renovations. This year already, we've invested in a lower school playground just inside the courtyard, and it looks amazing. We've also invested in flooring, both in the bottom floor and on the top floor of our education building at the St. Andrews Road campus. We're going to continue to move forward with renovations in bathrooms and renovations in dining hall area with new tile and new ceiling tiles. The bathrooms will come later on in phases, but just understand that when we talk about investing in facilities, we talk about all of our facilities, not just some of our facilities. Additionally, we want to do and we want to accomplish the new middle school bathrooms. Let me pause here for a second. Last year, we talked about this project, and unfortunately, we did not pull the project off because we didn't have the resources after we had investigated the project. That could happen from time to time. As we have a list of priorities that I have shared with you today, we can only move forward as the resources allow us to. The middle school bathrooms this summer will go through a process of installing a brand new bathroom area for our middle school students. We have put the resources into play. That project will take place, and it will be a great place and a safe place for our students to utilize the bathroom in the middle school area. I know to some of us that's a little challenging, but for those of us that have middle school students, we understand the value behind that. The last two things that I want to talk about as far as facilities come from outside investments. One of those is the outdoor speed and conditioning facility for all of our athletes. This will be sponsored by our Booster Club, and it's important to understand that that sponsorship opportunity will provide all of our student athletes a speed and conditioning area to continue to grow in their athletic abilities. In addition, we have a golf practice facility that will be going on this summer, and the work will be taken on this summer, that will be sponsored by golf families that have put financial resources behind that project. So we are excited about all these great things and all these great investment opportunities in our facilities. But remember, I emphasize it again, these projects can only take place as the revenue continues to come in and the resources become available for us. As we head into the closing aspect of tonight's meeting, I want to share with you just a few things regarding the future campus master plan. First, I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you for the resources that have come in, and we're excited about the families that have come on board at Ben Lippin School that have allowed us to move some of these things and will allow us to move some of these things forward in a much quicker way. I want to thank you for helping us raise over $300,000 in total gifts at this time. Our goal is still $500,000 by the end of our fiscal year, but we know that our families will come together and continue to invest in the future of Ben Lippin School. So please stay connected with us and connected to our teams as we will connect with you during this time. I also want to talk about the Cultivate campaign. Phase 1, which was our arts and science facility, our goal was $5.5 million. And our team met our goal in 2 years instead of 3. That's amazing. And the reason that's amazing is because you, our family, and our community helped us accomplish those goals. We have received gifts from alumni from the past, many, many years. We've received alumni from years that graduated just years ago. And we've received gifts from grandparents and parents, community members. But that $5.5 million gift allowed us to open a building, an arts and science center, that has transformed this facility and has allowed us to provide more classes in larger environments than ever before. So I just want to share with you how grateful I am for your participation in our Cultivate campaign. And at this time, I want to share with you what the future holds. Phase 1 is completely done. Our students are in it and we're active. We're still trying to collect some of the funds from that project, but we're ready to move to Phase 2 in at least communication with you. And here's what Phase 2 looks like. The new Center for Life Impact. Last year at the State of the School, I addressed this project. We want to continue to move forward with Phase 2 of our Cultivate campaign by installing a project of this nature. This project will entail a resource area. It'll be a facility where all of our student resources will be held in one location. And the students will all be able to interact with one another in that location with our counselors and our leadership and directors. It'll also be a location where students can continue to build community in what we're labeling the Student Activity Center. In the back of the facility, the new Life Impact Center, we will have a Student Activity Center where students can interact after school, wait for their parents to be picked up, and it builds a great opportunity for community to be built between our international students and our day students throughout that process. This facility will provide us also large spaces to be able to host alumni meetings and also to be able to host parent meetings. We have a difficult time sometimes trying to find ways places where we can find large enough spaces to host these kind of meetings. This new Center for Life Impact will provide that opportunity. Stay in contact with us. You'll hear more about this opportunity in the year ahead and in the years to come. Here's our goal though, and I want to share with you in full transparency. Right now, the projected cost of that facility is somewhere around $1.5 million. We are praying already that the Lord opens up the resources necessary to have that facility erected in the fall of 2024. This is a big deal. We're making an announcement with you tonight that we are planning ahead in full faith that we want to have a building up and ready for our students by the fall of 2024. This can be another transformational opportunity for our community. This is a place where all of our students can be a part of. And so we're thankful and grateful that we are even on Phase 2 and are able to talk about this with you at this time. Will you and your family continue to pray and how you will be able to play a part in this project? I thank you for at least considering and hearing this opportunity. As we end the state of the school, I want to share with you that the state of our school is strong, and it's stronger than ever before. Greater opportunities in areas of academics, athletics, fine arts, and spiritual life. Greater opportunities of impact, not only on our campus, but across the world. Greater opportunity of growth, not only here on the Monticello Road campus, but also at the St. Andrews Road campus, and now on our new Northeast Sand Hill campus. Life at Ben Lippin School continues to move forward toward excellence. Here are my closing comments. The challenges have been many. We stand strong in our commitment to providing face-to-face education from a biblical worldview and are committed to staying true to our mission. Our vision is clear, but it will take the entire community to support such lofty goals over the next several years. If we keep dreaming big, praying much, and focusing on others, I am confident that the Lord will honor our vision in the years ahead. Thank you for taking the time to be with us this evening. May the Lord bless you, your families, and may the Lord continue to bless Ben Lippin School. Good night.